Like it's been long, problems are happening, but we are not looking out for change. We are not looking out for alternate solutions. So what happened with us, like rather than coming up with a solution, we try to find out what is the problem rather than getting to the solution. Because understanding the root cause, like according to us, is like the 50% of the solution. So let's understand the current scenario of groundwater. So at least 50% of the world population is totally dependent on groundwater as a source of drinking water. But if you see the current situation in terms of abstraction of groundwater in India, India has become the highest. So uh, the groundwater abstraction, the borewell actually started around, if you know the green revolution that happened in the 1970s. That was the time when tube wells and bore wells were introduced on a major scale. But the actual boom in India started from around 1990s. And from then, if you see the curve, it's like going upwards. So currently, India is the number one groundwater extracting countries. What is it resulting into? If you see the groundwater situation is worsening in India. I'm yet to update this slide. This is like the 2004. If you see the red spot, these are all exploited or overexploited areas. So this is 2009 and we yet to update it. So the current situation is much more worse than this. So today, approximately 54% of India faces like high to extremely high water stress. So, what is the impact of groundwater depletion that is happening? So, one of the things that we are seeing is the loss of agricultural production, drinking water scarcity. We heard a lot about farmer suicides, the water quality issues, the water conflicts, especially in the urban areas, and then increased cost of water. This is one of the places, Usman Sagar in Hyderabad. So you can see the parched and dry land over there. This is the another problem that we see Pali in Rajasthan, where water is sent through these tankers, the train tankers. This is a common scenario. This is from Aurangabad, and you might relate it to many rural areas as well, where people are dependent, completely dependent on tanker water. These are women in rural villages traveling long distances just to get water. So this is just the current situation. And if we talk about the growing population impact, so by 2050, there's an estimate like 80% of demand will increase in the cities for water, which is actually caused because of the, which will be caused because of the demand in food will grow around 50 to 60%. So out of this, around 500 largest cities, like out of the 500 largest cities in the world, are expected to have water conflicts. So this is the kind of impact that is already happening, and again we are worsening the groundwater situation. So let's talk about like groundwater basics. So what is groundwater? Like groundwater, if we see, it just covers 3% of the fresh water. Where does Earth's water, like if we see Earth's water, so 96.5 is into the oceans. The only 3% is left for the fresh water. So out of the 100%, only 3% is fresh water. And if we further divide it, out of that, around 70% is into glaciers and ice caps. And then the second highest is groundwater, which is around 30%. And then rest 1% out of that 3% is the surface or the other fresh water that we see, like in form of lakes, ponds, and dams. So when we talk about groundwater, if you see, groundwater has the like this is the major water source that that can be utilized, and it's also one of the exploited as well. So putting up all in perspective, if you see, like if we combine all the lakes and everything, multiply it 30 times, and that is the kind of groundwater capacity that that is there actually. So how did we get into these problems? So we need to look at history as well. So the factors which are influencing groundwater usage. So definitely there has been a rise in population, which has led to a rise in urban cities and infrastructure. Then there is chemical intensive farming. So if you have ever been to organic farms, you might see the percolation rate of rainwater is much higher than compared to the chemical ones. The other thing that happens, like if you've specifically been to Shirol in Kolhapur district, so there the water condition is like worsening just because the chemical intensive farming, like the urea being used for the sugarcane, that is one of the major reasons. And we used to give this example, like how do you identify organic versus non-organic? Just because what happens when you when you're using chemicals in your farm, so what happens, like these vegetables and all these fruits, they tend to hold a lot of moisture. That is why if you see the size of inorganic food will be like high, much bigger in size. But when you actually cook it, okay, if you, for example, if you take bottle gourd, if you cook non-organic bottle gourd, it will just reduce to this size, where so the moisture loss is very high in inorganic vegetables. So chemical intensive farming takes a lot of water, and it also does not allow percolation in the ground. So that is another thing that is influencing the groundwater usage. So again, there is also the increase in per capita water usage, and again, government regulations are there, but there is no control over it, and we are seeing like there is no limit on overuse. So there are societies in Pune itself which have around 8 to 10 bore wells, not all working, but yes. So everyone is like get whenever they have a problem, they keep on digging with